So
Do I need to
maybe
introduce myself
I
first?
should get. I got you. I got you.
Okay. You got a question prepared?
I got a question for it all.
Okay.
All right. So to begin, what is your name?
Dude, that's such a deep question. My name is Kyle Leal. Kyle John Leal, if you want to be
Kyle
official
John Leal.
about it.
I didn't know that.
There
Okay.
you go. You're welcome.
So who gave you your name? I mean,
Who gave me my name?
I'd imagine it's your mom. And dad.
Well, my dad chose the name. My my dad wanted all of his sons to be named with K letters because his name is Kevin. My brother's name is Kevin.
Okay.
My name is Kyle.
So you got Kevin Jr.?
No, because his middle name's different. So
okay.
It's Kevin John, Kevin Vincent, and Kyle John.
Okay.
3 Ks.
Very
So
interesting.
you can make that how you want it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I was about to say, is there significant meaning to your name, but it seemingly is just for the K.
Yep. Yeah, it was just K's. And then I have a half brother, and they named him Travis. So.
Travis?
Yep. They just I don't know. They broke it at 3. They didn't go for
They're like,
4.
all right, we like the 3 Ks for some reation.
A little suspicious.
Interesting.
In my opinion, but.
Okay, so where'd you grow up?
I grew up in West Milford, New Jersey. It's basically it's like living in the South, but in the North.
Okay,
so you
so
get
it's
a
like
mix.
hick.
It's very hick. It's very conservative, and yeah.
Interesting.
So
So
very woodsy.
is it is it closer to the beach side or farther? I'd imagine further, but
I am about 2 hours from the nearest beach.
Okay,
so it's,
so
it's
far.
pretty far, but it's
so
a
it's
good
not like
day trip.
Jersey Shore.
No, I'm not near the Jersey Shore right now.
Not a Jersey Shore kid.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, yeah, unfortunately.
Would
not.
you surf if you were a Jersey Shore kid?
I
you'd be a
don't know,
surfer?
but that many people don't. You can't really surf on
Jersey?
the Jersey Shore. The waves aren't anything crazy. It's
Dang.
mostly wakeboarding and stuff.
Gotcha. So what kind of town? You said it was conservative.
Yeah.
Is it just a small town?
Yeah, it's pretty small. It's kind of you go to the grocery store, you're gonna run into 5 people that you know. It's pretty tiny, but it's got a lot of land. There's a lot of woods and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty small as far as population and notoriety goes. It's not very notable.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of it. So
Yeah, most people haven't.
is
There's
it
a very niche.
What would
people
you say
that have.
population is of your area?
I don't even know. I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
It's probably a couple thousand, I would say.
Okay, a couple thousand. Wow.
Actually, maybe it's 13,000.
I was about to say maybe
that's a shot
you said
in
your
the dark.
high school was a couple hundred people.
Yeah,
So.
I would say maybe 13,000 would be my estimate.
Okay.
But let's see what Google says. 26,000. Look at us go. That was 2018 though.
Okay, but it's probably more then, right?
I don't know. It was a pretty consistent line. It gave you the years
Oh, I
and the
gotcha, yeah.
population is a pretty straight line. So
Yeah.
probably around 26,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your favorite memory
My favorite
of your
memory
hometown? Yeah.
of my hometown.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Probably my senior year of high school. It was pretty chill. That
Yeah.
senior prank was it was pretty bonding. It was oddly wholesome because it was all the seniors together, just kind of hanging out, playing cards and
Yeah.
camping on.
Yeah.
I hooked up my hammock to my car and someone else's car, and I slept on my hammock.
So you guys just chilled in your parking lot. What was the goal?
The goal was to block all the buses out from dropping off the students the next day.
Nice.
But yeah, we did another senior prank that day where everyone bought watermelons to school and they just left them around the building. But
Nice.
yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. So that's your favorite memory?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Cool. So what motivated you to come here?
To SCAD or Atlanta, or
Just-
both.
I guess just both. Maybe I don't know. What came first?
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. I was a big fan of The Walking Dead growing up, and I knew that they shot in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And the show took place in Atlanta, so it's how I learned to like the city.
Right.
And then my brother went to SCAD Savannah, and I don't know where he's going. My brother went to SCAD Savannah, and I wanted to go to SCAD as well because it was a really good school, and I knew that Atlanta was like the production hub for film. So it just felt like the right move to come to SCAD, but Atlanta. I wanted to be different than my brother, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So yeah, I guess that's explains both.
Let's go.
Cool.
I'm just knocking out all the questions.
Just got all the
with one
questions.
answer.
Like I don't even have to like follow up questions. You just keep answering the follow ups.
There you go.
Look at you go. All right.
I'm an
So
action.
what's your like career here? What do you do for a living? Like what's
I'm a student. I'm a broke college student. That's what I do for a living.
I'm a broke boy
Yeah.
for a living.
Yeah, for now.
For
Until
now.
I graduate, then I'll just be broke and not a student. So
Okay, well, that's scarier.
That is much scarier. Yeah. 100%.
It's okay. We'll make
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You got it.
It'll be fine.
I got you.
Eventually.
Yeah. So like, you're a film major, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I am a film major.
So
Certified.
would you consider yourself a toxic film major?
Is this like are you trying to dox me right now?
No.
Let's
Just answer
see.
honestly. Like it's nothing personal.
Okay. I don't have anything that makes me look like a douchey filmmaker. in the
It's not
background.
like
That's
it's not doesn't say like MAGA above your head or anything.
good. Yeah. I would say I have qualities that are of toxic filmmaker. You know, I like Quentin Tarantino, but you know,
I mean that's
I would say I'm a bit more. I don't know. I think I have a
you can
bit
answer
more of a head on my
unhumbly.
shoulders.
Like it's okay to answer unhumbly. That's not toxic.
Unhumbly?
Unhumbly.
I think that's what a toxic filmmaker would do. Is they'd be like, "No, dude, I do the best work, but I'm like really chill about it. I'm really cool."
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm a
But I also
learning
feel like
student,
sometimes
so-
answering like that doesn't like. It's kind of hard to like portray who you are without answering sometimes like that.
But yeah. I mean,
So,
you
like,
gotta
there's a
like
fine
promote
balance.
yourself, sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm sure some people see me as a toxic filmmaker, but film major, but you
I'm
know.
sure there's one
Yeah.
person in everybody's life who thinks that.
Yeah,
I feel like
that
that's
is what
pretty
it is.
normal.
Whatever. That's fine.
What is it? What's like? What's it like for you here? Is it
like living in the
yeah,
city.
living? Is it your thing? Like all that?
Is it my thing?
Is it your thing?
Living's my thing, bro. I love living.
I mean, like
Big
in
fan
the
of life
city. I
over
mean,
here.
in the city.
Yeah. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in the woods and stuff growing up, and I do really like living in the woods, and I'd
Yeah.
like to live,
That's how
you know,
those-
not in the city when I'm older, but I do enjoy the city. I like having a lot to do around here because, like, my hometown is like, what you do for fun is you get in the car and you drive to, like, Target, and you walk around Target, and then you,
That's-
like, drive to the middle of the woods, and you
That's
hang
every
out in the
small
woods.
town.
Yeah.
That's similar to me.
So I like having more stuff to do here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a follow-up question, but I totally shit the bed.
That's okay. You're good. You're just like on the spot right now. No pressure. Yeah.
Anyways, so what was like? Was this your first time moving to like college? Was it your like first time going away?
Yeah. Like I was born in Indiana and we moved when I was like 3, but I
Okay,
don't
that
think
doesn't count.
that doesn't really count.
I don't
you
mean
know,
to be rude or anything,
Yeah.
but you
Moving
don't
to
remember
Atlanta
that.
was my first time away from home. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. Was it like scary or anything? Were you excited?
Yeah, I was definitely excited and nervous because I moved like in September of 2020, so it was like lockdown COVID times.
Right.
So it was like I moved into a 4-bedroom apartment. But yeah, so I moved into a 4-bedroom, and there was only one other roommate that
Nice.
lived there,
Big.
and he lived on the opposite side of me. And then he left after he dropped out after the first quarter, so I lived alone, and I didn't really like know what I was doing. So it was like, I don't know.
That's a far walk.
It was pretty lonely. Yeah, I'd walk to school, and I did all my classes online for the first 2
Oh right, 'cause
quarters.
y'all were.
And then I started walking to school when I had my first hybrid class. And it was it was lonely. It was definitely a change of pace, but it was a good experience for me living alone and figuring shit out on my
Yeah. So I
Awesome.
know. Yeah, figuring stuff out for the first time is tough,
Yeah.
especially when like, for me personally, in Savannah we had like the buses, and the buses like didn't tell you the routes.
Yeah, they just kind of like do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just like.
Hope I end up in the
Yeah.
right place. Yeah.
But
I hate the bus system. I refuse refuse to take the bus.
I think they're
So
only probably
take the
best
bus.
paid,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
bussin'.
Gotta save money.
Get it? Because bussin'.
Bussin'. It's bussin'.
It is bussin'.
Nice. Great. Love it.
I'll put that in at somewhere, some
Put
point. Just
a
it's
title that
bussin'.
just says bussin'.
It's bussin'.
Yeah. It's bussin'.
All right. So, like, I know you have the web series, and
Yeah.
I know you've had web series in the past that were super good.
Yeah, okay.
Super good. So, how did you become, like, interested in film? Like, obviously the web series, but, like,
Sure.
what was your...
So I think I've kind of always been interested in film, since I was like watching fucking movies with my dad when I was like 5 or whatever. But I think it was really my brother like made a YouTube channel when he was like 12, as like a 12-year-old does.
Yeah,
And
every
he started like
12-year-old.
making skits with his friends, and I was like, that seems fun. I'm just gonna copy him. So I started doing it.
And
then
you
I
were
kind
better
of-
at it.
I don't know if I was better at it at all. Those videos are. I hope they never see the light of day. But
I mean, they're still on your YouTube channel.
no, it's a different YouTube channel. I used my mom's email
Okay.
account to
That's
make a YouTube channel.
crazy.
Yeah, because she wanted to like watch everything that I was making. But
Right.
yeah, and then I had a TV. It's called TV Science in high school, and it was like a film class where you'd make videos for the school.
Oh, nice.
And you'd have like assemblies like once a semester or whatever, and everyone would just like watch the stuff that you made, and we were able to make like comedy sketches in those like assemblies. So that was probably where I really started to like enjoy showing people work.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so school, pretty much,
School. Yeah. School.
was the main
Yeah.
kickstart.
Family and school.
Family and school.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel like that's
Makes sense.
Makes
you know?
sense,
It's like
yeah.
the only two things
It's
you do
not
as a
like-
child is hang out with.
for me.
family
It's
and
like
school.
I watched Transformers and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
how
my-
did those robots transform? And I was
Michael
I-
Bay did it for you.
Huh?
Michael Bay. did
Michael
it for
Bay.
you.
I mean,
Yeah.
like everybody hates on him, but man, what an inspiration for me.
I mean, Transformers movies are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know? Especially the first couple.
The first two.
I enjoyed them. I liked them.
First two were good,
Yeah.
and I pretty much pertained my entire visual effects career to that.
That's fair. I mean, it's a really visually beautiful movie. Especially, it's really old and the CGI
Yeah.
stands
And I was
test
like-
of time. So.
And I first watched it when I was, I don't know, whatever age, young, 6 probably.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, how do they do that? And I just could never figure it out. And then,
Yeah.
and then I realized how they did it, and I was like, I never want to do that.
Fuck that. That sounds hard. Oh, jeez.
I'll do something else in visual effects, but not that.
Yeah, that's fair. You still feel that way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't like putting bones and creatures,
Yeah. Okay. So like,
bending
yeah,
them,
yeah,
and making every move and animating.
yeah. It sounds miserable.
It's more of an animation major kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
No, I like making fires and things explode.
Yeah. Okay.
That's more,
Michael Bay stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Bay, but in a different movie,
Yeah.
and maybe in the same movie as well, though.
I mean, every movie
Every
there's
movie.
explosions and fire from Michael Bay.
Michael Bay's like, let's spend $400 million on this explosion.
Yeah.
Let's spend the whole movie budget
And,
on the.
you know, honestly, good for
explosion.
him. Good for him.
Yeah, glad he has the money to do that. But
Yeah.
when did you start getting like serious about your film, and it wasn't just like a joke, or like not a joke, but like more of like a, this could be something.
It was probably the first web series that I did, and I think I was like 15, and it was a web series that was basically The Walking Dead, but like way shittier with no zombies. So
Yeah.
it was like an apocalypse show, and it was about like this little group that like was
It was in
trying
the
to
woods.
survive, and it was in the woods, and you know. Yeah, and I took that pretty seriously. I was very desperate to like get it done, and I was very particular about like what kind of stories I wanted to tell and stuff. And it's terrible. It's really bad, but it was the first
Got
thing
you
that
started.
I was like, I really want to do this,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
What's your inspiration?
What's
Do you have
my
any,
inspiration?
Do you have any inspirations?
Do I have any inspirations, as in like people?
Like film wise, what's your inspiration? Like
I
it could be
think-
like a director or like.
Sure, yeah. I think my biggest inspiration right now is probably a filmmaker. His name is Matt Johnson.
Right.
He's This is gonna sound toxic filmmaker of me, but he's pretty underground.
Okay.
He doesn't have a lot of like
Right.
known work. He doesn't like have any really successful movies. He's made a couple. He made this show that my friend Eric showed me. It's called Nirvana, the band, the show.
Right.
And it's kind of where I got a lot of inspiration for Team Super. Me and Eric wrote
Yeah.
it together. And it
Where's?
was
Can you
based
show me a
off the show.
picture of Team Super? Can you point
Yeah.
to one?
Uh,
Any of them.
I mean, these are all Team Super pictures. So
Yeah,
this
those
is,
are all his Team
I
Super.
don't know how
Any of
much. I
these
don't know how
here?
much the lens can see, but these are all Team Super pictures. So it's basically
Can
me
you get a
and
zoom
my.
in on that?
Yes, zoom in on that. It's
I'm
me
seeing
and my
those- the-
me and my friend
this guy
Eric.
and
Yep.
all this.
This
Yeah.
guy and this guy and
Yep.
this guy and this guy and this guy. Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Johnson, he kind of like the ideology I have around filmmaking is when you're a student and you have no money, and you know most filmmakers don't really have any money when they're trying to make something that they really want to make, and like you're gonna have weaknesses on set because you don't have enough money to fix all your problems. So turning your weaknesses into strengths in your film is like how you're gonna get the best work you can. So like for Team Super, it's a zero budget web series, but it's like all shot on the street, and instead of like creating a script that you have to follow beat by beat and it like locks you in a box, you go out on the street, you talk to people, and then they influence the story
Right.
naturally, and it's a lot easier to get what you need that way. And you know, you don't need actors because you're interacting with real people.
Yep.
And it just saves a lot of time and money, and it's a lot more entertaining to see how people react in the real world than, you know, staging
Yeah. Doing
stuff.
random skits or bits.
But yeah, Matt Johnson, he's great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll have to look him up.
you have to watch some of his movies.
Whenever I watch this back and add subtitles and
Yeah.
listen to this for
Yeah.
10 times over.
Watch Matt Johnson's movies.
Cool.
Operation Avalanche.
Introducing.
Fucking, oh my God, what's his other movie? He's coming out with a new movie called Blackberry with Glenn Howerton, which is the guy from Always Sunny.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
Um,
that either. So
And
That's
it's
very
gonna be really
underground
good. I'm
even.
really excited for it. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry, that's enough about Matt Johnson. He's great. Love him. Love you,
big
Matt
inspiration.
Johnson.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I had another question, but
Stinky just
Kept-
came here to lick his butthole on camera. So,
can we get a zoom in on that?
yeah. Can we get a zoom in on Stinky cleaning his ass? That's gotta make the cut right there.
That's making the cut.
That's making the cut right there. Yeah. Good job.
All right. All right. What are some positive experiences of the film?
Some positive experiences that I've had.
Yeah. So like, just I would say the past. I would include the past 4 years and your web series. Not your
Ooh.
original web series, but
Yeah. Team Super.
yeah,
Um.
because I feel like that's when it got real serious.
So yeah, Team Super was a pretty big thing for me. Sorry, what was the question? I completely blanked.
What are your positive experiences with the film?
Oh, positive experiences. Yeah, so I'll start with SCAD stuff. So I'm not talking about my own personal projects so much, but I think
No, keep shouting it out.
yeah, keep plugging myself. Yeah. Positive experiences. I mean, I've really the past year I've met a lot of really good people that I love working with. That are just like a really big inspiration to me as you know, I think that they do really good work, and they're really smart with the departments that they're going into, and
Yeah.
I look up to them a lot in that aspect. But yeah, they give me like working with them, like kind of reinvigorates my like passion for working on set and stuff.
Yeah,
Because
versus
you know you work a couple student sets and it's like, wow, I never want to do this ever again. This is miserable, and
Yeah, I've been
I
there.
wasted my time here at school.
Yeah, I think we've all been there
But,
if you're a film major.
Yeah, when you work with good people and you have a good set and a good story, and you know you're like genuinely having fun for 12 hours straight, it's like it's nice, you know. So working like directing my capstone, I think was a really positive experience for me. One that I was really nervous to do, but no,
That's
it was
probably one of the
really
best
good.
sets I've been
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it was nice to see that other people were enjoying themselves because it was a lot of stress for me, and I wanted to make sure that people
Well, you
weren't
handled
miserable.
it well because I didn't
so
know you were stressed. So,
that's great. That's awesome. That means I did my job.
and not even just that, but the actors giving you accolades.
Yeah.
And the whole crew
Yeah.
accolades is wild.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was definitely one of the biggest takeaways from that set is like having a SAG actor be like, whatever you do, I want to be in it. And I was
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm just a little man out here.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Like,
you know.
I mean,
so-
our crew was normal. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're all. You just chose. I feel like you chose a good bonding group of people.
Yeah, for sure. I
Like
mean,
everybody knew each other well.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of like, my thing is like when you work a student set, it's like there's only so much you can get out of it, and you try to get out as much as you can. And one of the biggest things for me is like finding one good connection to take away from that set, and think about them in the future when you're working on projects. So
Yeah.
it was like a year and a half's worth of working on set and like picking out the people that I'd really
just
want to work
individually
for me.
Grabbing people.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Luckily, I started second ACing.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. If you weren't on that, then yeah, you probably wouldn't have ended up being
I
on
probably
top.
wouldn't have found out anything, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So shout out Sophia. for
Shout
that.
out Sophia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in like big bold font.
She a real one for that.
She is a real one for that. She's so real. But also me taking the balls to accept second ACing and knowing nothing about film.
Right. I mean, that's what you got to do. The first
I
set
didn't
gig
know what
that I
second
got.
AC meant. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
just
doesn't
do
matter.
it. You just do
It
it.
doesn't matter. I told people that I knew how to do sound, and because I knew everyone needed someone to
Yeah.
do sound on their set.
Were you booming? Or were you
I was
actually twisting the
booming
knobs?
and sound mixing. I told them
Oh,
I could
you
do
did.
both at the
Oh,
same
you were.
time. And I didn't. I was given the mixer, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, the only thing I had used to that point was like this little zoom, and I was like, "Yeah, no, you just like set the dial, you hit record, and like you're fucking
No,
good."
no.
But, yeah, I spent I think probably like an hour like YouTubing clips in like the corner, like, "All right, what the fuck? How do you set this thing up?"
Nice.
But
That's sick.
it didn't sound so bad. So
Good, good.
fucking go me.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so what are some negative experiences with film? We've got plenty.
Yeah, that I've got plenty of those. I think negative experiences is working with. Ooh, this is gonna be hard not to dox some other people.
I would say just don't say names. Just say them.
Yeah, I
They,
won't say
who,
names, but
he, she.
yeah, I think working with people that don't have a good work ethic and don't actually want to be there, people that they go to set because it feels like it's what they should do because they're in that major.
Yeah.
And then it's not actually what they're going to end up doing in life, and you can tell when they're on set because they just lollygag, they sit around,
Yeah.
they just don't want to be there, and it's
Yeah.
like, you're setting the vibe when you just sit around and you're
Yeah.
not excited. And I get that, like, film sets drag and it's 12 hours of working, and a lot of that's a big turn off for a lot of people, and I can't say it's like
Exciting.
I can't say I love those hours working
Yeah.
12 hours a day every day.
I'm not like, we get to wake up at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Like,
God, I'm so excited. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up. I'm going to spend an hour setting up a camera, and then I'm going to work for 11 hours after that. It's going to be great. But at least I'm getting lunch,
yeah, no, that Jimmy
But-
John's fucks.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I fucking eat Jimmy John's every day. But, yeah, no, I think it's really people dependent, Like, yeah, we're all still learning, but, there are just some people that you work with where you're like, I would love to never work with you again because this
Yeah.
was just miserable.
You made things a lot harder
Yeah.
than they had to be. I'm sure I could get somebody out here that would grind.
Yeah, I did. Okay, I can tell you this story. This was a pretty miserable working experience.
All right, yeah. I was about to ask, give me an example.
Okay.
A more specific.
So I worked this. It was my first feature film. I worked on it over the summer last year.
Cool.
And I came on
Is this
as
a personal film or is it for
It
somebody else?
was for someone else. So like someone. It was a graduate student texted me because he was like hiring. He's a SCAD grad, so he graduated a while ago, and he just kind of like had a decent amount of money, and he wanted to make this like horror film in the woods in a cabin, and I was like. I got contacted from a graduate student that I worked with and as a friend of mine, and he asked me if I wanted to second AC, and I was like, dude, fuck yes, I'd love to like spend a month shooting a movie, doing whatever. That
Yeah.
sounds great, and it's paid amazing. I love it. Let's do it.
How much you paid?
I got paid. Well, it changed, but I was supposed to make shit money. I was supposed to make I think $2,400 for 22 days of shooting, which is like
Yeah, not great.
I think it boiled down to like $9 an hour or something like that.
Okay.
But so yeah, I went onto that set, and the DP came to set not finished with a shot list, and he was like trying to finish it up while like the first day that he got there, and he asked for my help, which I had already helped because they were like desperate to finish the shot list because it's a movie, so
Yeah.
it's obviously a lot of shots, a
Yeah.
lot of scenes and stuff. But like,
Me when second AC is making
yeah,
shots.
it was not the best. Professor Lucas was like flabbergasted when I came into class one day and I was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, they asked me to like shot list some of the scenes, and he was like, what are you doing in this movie? And I was like, oh, I'm second AC, and he was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like that was like the first sign that there was going to be some trouble, but he started shooting, and he liked shooting everything on a wide lens. So it was like he'd put on like a 14, and he'd shoot the whole scene in a 14, and then he was like, no, we don't really need coverage because we got everything there. And it's like, what's that mean though? Does that mean you're shooting everything in a wide on on like a 14? And he was.
For anybody who doesn't know, this is a 12.
This
and
is a
this
12.
is reaching. I'm like 5 feet away from him, and you can see how much reaching. And look at the amount of distortion on my
Yeah.
arm. Like you can see it bending.
Yeah.
So that's about the same. of
Yeah.
what he's
So
saying.
basically, the whole movie was shot like this shot is set up right now, but it was in like a cabin, and it was shot with really like plain like sitcom lighting. So like everything was just like the levels were just up, you know. And they didn't have playback up. They weren't getting dailies every day, so they didn't watch.
So they weren't
anything.
like selecting what clips were good. They weren't like.
No,
circling.
they didn't look at anything. They didn't review anything. It was this guy's first time directing, and like it was like their first production. So they
Right.
were like they were slow to get everything set up to look at stuff.
Yeah.
And we had our first day off, like I don't even know. It was like a week and a half or 2 weeks into the shoot, and that was like the first time they were able to look at the stuff. And they looked at the whole movie, and they were like ghost-faced it because they looked at all the footage and it was all shit footage. It did not look like
Yeah.
good at all. And they were shooting on a Blackmagic, and it's not the best cinema camera, so like it's not going to look like
Beautiful.
a good movie, but you know, it would make do if you had a good DP. And so they demoted the DP to crafty, where he was just like helping with
Crafty?
lunch. He was a crafty PA.
Bro went from DP to crafty. For
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't know, again, crafty is the person who gets the food for the set.
Yeah. So
He went from managing the camera and the shots of the beautiful film to putting food on a table.
yeah, and that was like kind of like they told him that they were still going to give him credit to DP because they didn't want to like hurt his feelings. They didn't want to fire him because we had
Right.
already been like 10 days into shooting at that point. But me and my friend Daniel, who was working on that set as a camera B operator,
Right.
they upgraded us to work on camera. So like he was cam A op and I was cam B op.
Sick.
And the DP wasn't there for one day, and that's like when we took over, and they looked at our footage versus his footage, and our footage was a lot better. So then this is a long story. I'm trying to make it quick.
No,
But,
you're good. Take your time. I'm not rushing.
But
I'm just looking at something.
yeah, so they looked at our footage, they liked ours better, so they like upgraded us, downgraded him, and then he got pissed. So we were all being put up.
Right.
They put us up, so I was like sleeping in a cabin with like a bunch of the crewmates, like 30 minutes away from the shooting cabin.
You do the Full Metal Jacket, beat you up in your sleep with rocks.
Yeah, no. But we all like after set one day, we all went back to like my cabin, and we were all hanging out and drinking or whatever. And he showed up, and he was like, I think he was off, like some kind of psychedelic, and he was high.
Right. As
And
any film major
he was like
would be.
he was very much out of it.
Are you
he's-
on
he's-
psychedelics right now?
I am actually. I'm off like fucking 40 milligrams of shrooms right now, dude. I don't even know what's going on.
It's raining in here for him.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know if this is real, bro. But yeah, so he was like super high, and he kept telling this one guy, Charlie, he was like, dude, if I disappear tonight, I'm in the bathroom. Like no matter where I actually am, I'm gonna be in the bathroom.
Interesting.
So like if you don't see me for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, I'm in the bathroom. Okay? Make sure you know that. So he like disappears, and no one really notices. And the next morning, we had like a noon call time. So I went back to Atlanta the next morning to like see my cat, and I came back, and I was driving straight to set to meet with the director about like the day of shooting that we had ahead. And I get there, and I get a call from I get a call, and she tells me that the set's canceled. Like, we're not shooting today. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? So like I was already at set, so I pulled in, and there's a cop in the driveway.
Oh wow.
I was like, yo, what is going on?
What is going
So
on?
I walk in, and the director looks like he watched his like mother die. Like, he looked horrified and just kind of like, you know, terrified. And I was like, what's up? And he's like, someone came into set last night and stole the cameras and the hard drives, and it's all gone. The whole movie, everything we've shot is just gone. So the DP, the guy who was the DP, was there when I got there, and it didn't take long to figure out. Like, they started like accusing other people,
Yeah.
because it was like obviously an inside job, because they went into the basement where all the gear was set up, and they like took specific things, you know, like
Right.
they disassembled the camera and took just the camera, and not like they left like the nucleus on,
Yeah.
because it was like one of the DP's
Just
friends,
the
so he didn't
parts
want
of
to
the
steal
camera
it.
were still, yeah.
So it didn't take long to figure out that it was him, and we like had a whole confrontation with him. And he like the previous night, he left the party to go to set to steal the camera and the footage, and he went and hid it by this on this peninsula, like under some rocks and dirt. So they had
Under
to like
rocks?
yeah, and yeah,
Just $400,000 camera or 40
Yeah.
whatever expensive camera.
a really expensive gear. And like, I mean, there was tons of money put into this movie. I think it was like,
Just under
I don't know, it was
$100,000.
over like $100,000 that was
Yeah.
invested into like the production, you know. So it's like not money to fuck around with. And he got arrested the
Oh,
next
nice.
day.
That's as he should.
Yeah. So then me and Daniel got upgraded to DPs, and I went from a second AC to DP.
Look at that.
So that was a pretty wild
How much did you get
experience.
paid then? So did
I
you
got
get paid?
I got over double pay.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
yeah,
fire.
it was way more worth my time after that.
That's good. Well,
Yeah. Anyway.
that's why you accept any job right there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm a second AC or a grip, I'm suddenly gaffing. And
Right.
then, you know, maybe I'll DP one day. DP shit his pants or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he's having bladder control issues.
Maybe.
He's
Maybe I'll have bladder
just
control
violently
issues.
peeing himself on set.
Maybe.
What
Maybe.
if?
Yeah.
What
could
are they
happen.
gonna do?
It's gonna happen to me week 7 when you're gaffing and I'm DPing. I'll just start like shitting my pants, and then you'll have to take over.
I'm gonna drop some laxatives in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Drink.
Yeah. Drug me. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
for
you.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right. Anyways.
That was a very long tangent.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually have a random story, but I used to know this guy. He went to a concert. He was older than me. He was probably like 25 when I was 16, and he was off Molly on a concert. You know, that's pretty normal
Yeah.
concert activity.
Yeah.
And he got lost in the woods and took his socks off, put
Oh.
them in his underwear.
Interesting choice. And his underwear.
Yeah, this is crazy. It gets crazier too. He had a flip phone. Like, I don't know.
Fuck right.
This was like 10 years ago, and he had a flip phone. And
That's
he had a
kinda
flip
sick.
phone, and he tried to call somebody, and they didn't answer. And then
Mm.
somebody did answer, and it was his ex-girlfriend. And she said, "Fuck you. I'm not coming to save you in the woods. I don't know where you are at
Yeah.
all. You're not giving me any help." He's still absolutely blasted off Molly. with
Sure. Yeah.
socks in his underwear
Kinda
that
sick.
had been worn all day.
He's just earthing it up. You know? He just wanted his dogs on the ground. You know? Can't blame a
He's
man for
feeling
his
the
dogs.
earth, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he's lost out there
Mm-hmm.
for a while, like a day. He's out there for a day. He actually had the helicopters searching for him, apparently.
God.
And they found him laying there on the ground, just like
Just laying?
out. Just
Was
out.
he was sleeping?
No, he was out.
He was dead?
He wasn't like sleeping. No, he wasn't. He's alive still.
Oh, he's
I
just like
don't-
chilling.
He's just chilling. Just chilling. Probably passed out, realistically.
Good for him, you know?
Because he didn't have food or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, don't do Molly, kids, at
Yeah,
a
don't do
concert
Molly.
and walk into the woods and then put your socks in your
Yeah.
underwear.
Or just don't do Molly at all, you know?
I feel like the socks and underwear is the highlight, though.
Yeah.
That's the
kinda-
crazy one.
like,
When he
why?
told me
I
that,
just
I
wanna know
literally was
why.
like, I don't even care about the rest of the story.
Yeah.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Just take
Are
your
you like,
socks, put them in your
why?
underwear.
Why? Why
Yeah.
are you putting socks in your underwear?
I don't know.
Imagine taking off your socks right now and be like,
stuff
This is
over my
it.
pants. Yeah.
Discovered something.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the move. I'll have to try it one
Maybe
day.
it's a Molly thing. Maybe
Maybe
we
it's a
don't
Molly thing.
understand.
You're just like, I need more in my crotch. I just need something in there. You know?
I don't know. Maybe he thought there was a lady out there. He's like, maybe if my
Gotta
balls
look
were
big.
bigger.
Gotta have a big bulge if the ladies show up in the woods, you know. Yeah.
All right. All right. Here's where it gets a little crazy with it.
All right.
So, what are some cultural things you've noticed about film?
Some cultural things.
Yeah.
I would say church. At least maybe it's because it's the South and church
Church?
isn't church.
You're talking like people who are religious?
Like yeah, religious people.
That's
I know.
crazy. I actually thought that was, wow. Okay. That's the last thing I thought you were gonna say.
Really? I mean, like
I don't
you
know many
whether it's
religious
pro or
people.
anti-church.
Yeah. No. I
Just
gotcha.
church as a thematic element in film, I think is definitely.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think a lot of SCAD students have religious trauma that they're trying to deal with in their capstone. So it's like that's a big element. I think
Yeah.
daddy issues are also a big element. This is like I'm basing this off of like the films that I've seen for my
Yeah, you're good.
grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, like church, daddy issues. There's another one that I'm forgetting. Yeah, those are definitely the biggest like cultural things that I've seen on set. Where, you know, they're definitely
SCAD films,
coming.
at
Up.
least,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, at least for
So-
SCAD films, yeah, for sure.
What about a bigger film? Like, what do you think? Something like let's name a random production. Like
Sure.
that's, like, have you seen A Serious Man by the Coen brothers?
No.
Okay, that's not gonna work then. Well, basically, it's about like, it's like a satire about karma, but
Okay.
Judaism's version of karma.
Sure.
I don't know I don't know. I can't talk about it properly because I'm not knowledgeable on it,
Sure.
and I'd definitely be unethically talking about it. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
But it is a satire, I believe, on that completely.
interesting.
And I believe it was completely for them to make that film. Like it was a film for themselves
Yeah,
as a
I
funny
mean,
part of the film.
Yeah, I think every film that a director is attached to, or like a writer director, you know, I think that what I've learned is that when you're writing something, all the characters that are involved are like some part of you, you know.
Right.
So it's like any writer director, they have to basically like those characters have to be real, and the only real experiences
Ways-
that you can
yep,
apply is from
personal.
yourself, you know.
Yep.
So every character from a writer director has inspiration from them. So
Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely can see that, especially in a lot of writing.
yeah,
Yeah, so like for a film for films that are like, this is gonna be a little bit different, but
Sure.
Joker, right? There was a lot of warnings like going out, and I don't know if you knew this or not, but at least in my area, there was warnings like after you get out of the movie, like stay safe. There might be like rebellious people like
Yeah.
doing this and that.
getting all inspired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting all inspired and to do silly behaviors
Silly, goofy activities. Yeah,
like killing people.
yeah,
So silly.
super silly.
Super silly. We had an incident today.
Yeah, we
revolving
did.
Around that.
Just a silly, goofy incident.
Shout out to Mira. I skipped class. Couldn't make it to class.
Rip.
I was on the other side. I couldn't drive through it. Sorry.
Sorry. Rip. Tough. It's tough.
Anyways, so do you think like something like that, like Taxi Driver, or like Fight Club? Fight Club.
Yeah.
I completely just turned around and looked at the poster. on the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
Fight Club, like it shapes somebody. Like when they watch Fight Club, you're like, oh shit, I could be a different person than what I am right now. What do you think about something like that? Like, do you think that affects?
I think that I'm gonna say no. I think that like yeah, I think a movie can inspire you and change you as a person, but you know, movies like that, it's like if you're getting inspired from Joker
Schizophrenia.
or yeah, like you know, a mental disease or disorder.
What about American Psycho? Because that's like a pretty big one right now. It's like this
Yeah.
Sigma grind set.
It is.
That's like, this is awesome. I love killing people.
right. Yeah.
And it's like they're like looking up to it, and it's like a
Yeah.
big TikTok thing right now. And
Yeah.
TikTok's pretty damn big.
Right.
And like these TikTok montages of what's his
Patrick
name?
Bateman.
Patrick
Yeah.
Bateman walking around with his Walkman.
Yeah.
And
I wish I was him.
I wish I was him. And I mean, like,
Dude, I wish I was just
there's
Patrick Bateman.
aggressive funk music playing in the background with cowbells.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you
if,
think
if
about
you're if you're actually getting inspired from Patrick Bateman, and like you have much deeper
I feel like that's the same
mental
deal.
issues that you have to deal with, aside from like getting inspired. Like, you know, if you're taking that to the next level, where you're like, yo, this guy is like, I really want to be him. I'm gonna do that. Then you're not really paying attention to the movie, because the movie is satire. It's like, if you watch American Psycho, it's hilarious. It's like
Yeah.
a funny movie because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think if you're taking inspiration from that in a serious way and not making a joke about it, then yeah, you should probably see someone, because that's
serious stuff.
this
Yeah.
is not the best thing.
It's an axe murder. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting because it's like, I know a lot of younger kids are getting inspired by another person that's very similar, Andrew Tate. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have interesting take on him, but
I
I feel
mean,
like he's a
yeah.
very similar subject.
I don't know. I think.
I mean, obviously
Andrew
not
Tate
on the same level.
You know, yeah, it's a bit different. He's not like, as far as I know, he's not out murdering people. But
Yeah, we don't know. But
you know, you never know. I think Andrew Tate is funny. I think he's a meme.
I think he's
would never-
hilarious.
Yeah, I
and
think he's
feel like
phoning it up.
Everybody, no, he's
He
completely fake.
knows. He knows his audience.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, you know, he's a character. He's
The
not,
reason
like,
he's
that's
big
not
is
a real
because
person.
people are making him out more than he is.
Yeah.
He's a complete joke.
Yeah.
I mean, not a complete joke. He's probably a normal person.
Right.
But in the way he portrays himself online, anytime there's a camera on,
Yeah.
he's a completely different person
Right,
than
yeah,
what
of
he
course.
actually is.
Yeah.
And I
He's
feel
a
like a lot of
character.
people don't realize that.
No, because people are stupid.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it definitely can give off wrong impressions to certain people who think he's serious, though.
Yeah, I think like a younger audience, it's more
And
impressionable.
the younger audience
maybe,
is
but
getting pretty kind of
Yeah.
yikes around that.
Yeah.
You know, I uninstalled TikTok, but I know it's pretty.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's banned from like everything, isn't he?
Okay, well, I mean, I don't think he's banned from YouTube or anything, but like, YouTube's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's in jail right now, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for apparently human trafficking, but that's not my business.
That's like on the same level as killing, you know. Human
I feel like
trafficking.
that's pretty fucking bad.
That's pretty rough. Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe he is the same guy.
Maybe he is the same guy. Maybe
I don't
we
know
were
enough
lying
about
this whole
Andrew
time.
Tate.
I don't know enough
so-
myself, so take everything I just said with a grain of salt.
Take everything
Don't
I
be
say with a
like,
grain of salt.
I seriously hate Ethan.
I love him.
And I hate Kyle now because of this. So
I love
it's-
Andrew Tate. I'll say it.
I wish Andrew Tate was my father.
Yeah. Dude, imagine if Andrew Tate was my dad.
I don't want a Bugatti.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Imagine. Do you own a Bugatti? Like, dude, what are you doing?
Do I? No, I own a Subaru Crosstrek.
Yeah, well, I own.
A nicer car than I do.
I mean, cost-wise, probably not. Yours probably sell more than mine. You sell for
Yeah.
more.
I don't even remember how much I got my car for.
I don't know.
It was like 6.
6.
Something like
How
that.
long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Mine was last year. Or beginning of
Yeah.
summer.
Mine was 2 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, that was random as hell. Do you think new films create new feelings in people? Obviously, but like, what do you think? Certain films. What is? I'll let you expand upon it. Do you think new films create certain new feelings in people?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, you know, especially with newer filmmakers, you know, like Ari Aster and stuff with Beau is Afraid, I think that, like, just new filmmakers in, like, rising in film it's going to bring up new feelings and new inspiration for other people because, you know, everyone's got something else. Everyone's got their own story to tell. And,
Right.
And that's obviously going to spark different emotions in people. And, you know, I think film is just changing in general as an industry and like what's going to get made and what's not. And I think it's getting harder and harder to make personal projects like that. Like Ari Aster he has like the Quentin Tarantino pass right now, where it's like anything that he wants to make is gonna get made, and that's like
Yeah.
super rare.
Yeah.
So like mostly you're seeing things that you're seeing Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart do the same comedy over and over and get paid the same amount of money, and it's always a hit because like they're just like
Fun.
Hollywood icons.
Yeah. So funny.
So like stuff like that, I think is like, it's not inspiring. It's not, it's not
Yeah.
sparking anything new. It's just the same old song and dance, and that's why Hollywood is dying.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So for Ari Aster,
yeah,
are you a fan?
I am. Yeah, I like him. I like his stuff.
I feel like the main thing for, at least for me personally, the main thing was confusion.
Yeah.
When I watch a film of his, I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah.
Like Hereditary, I don't know if you've seen Hereditary,
Mhm.
but Hereditary, scary as hell.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, what am I watching right now? Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Why did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, the end of this film, why is everybody burnt like
Mhm.
to a toast?
Mm.
And same with Midsummer. What
Yeah.
the fuck
Yeah.
am I watching? I haven't seen Beau's Afraid, but I've heard it's very similar where it's
Yeah.
like
Don't
confusion.
really know what's going on.
Like, I need to watch a damn Watch Mojo.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's a movie you got to look up. Like, Midsummer ending explained. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think work like that is important because of like, I think having
it's also-
conversations about the movies is like what makes movies
Very good.
worth
Exactly.
going to,
Like, I also feel like, me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Ari Aster. Like, he's cool and all.
Yeah.
Like, I respect him, but I'm not like, it's not like my thing.
Right, sure.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
And I respect any filmmaker as long as your stuff's
Sure.
respectable.
Right.
There's a line there.
A
Somewhere.
valid opinion. Yeah. As long as you make good stuff, I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as there's something that's good. Like, it doesn't even have to be the whole thing. Like, as long as there's some part of
Yeah.
the film that I like at
Right.
one point, I'll like go for it.
Yeah.
But for Ari Aster, it's confusing. Like, his stuff is confusing.
Yeah.
And that could be cool, and it could be not cool for some people. A lot of people probably don't like that. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't like feeling confused.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not like the biggest fan, but it's like I'll look up a movie and be like, okay,
Right.
I understand now. If you ever watch like A Space Odyssey, 2001: Space Odyssey, the ending, you're like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
Then you go watch a review of it, it's like, okay, that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. But for something like Hereditary or Midsummer, it's like, this is such a niche audience. I can't show this to my grandma.
Right. Yeah.
I can't show this to my dad probably
Yeah.
even. And it's stuff like the average person's probably not going to want to watch. But such a select few group of people will watch it enough to the point where it will get bigger
Right. Yeah.
for those certain group of people, and it will make enough money.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he makes plenty of money off of his films.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, it's not for everybody.
No. Yeah. I think
But it
that's what
is.
makes,
It does do something
Yeah.
for those certain people to keep moving forward in film.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's inspiring to like younger filmmakers. Like, okay, I can still tell like a really weird story, and it's like it doesn't have to be a blockbuster idea
Right.
to get the big bucks.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ari Aster's getting like, he's not getting paid what a blockbuster movie would get
Yeah,
paid.
of course.
But
Not no damn Marvel.
it's
shit.
getting there. Yeah.
I hate Marvel.
Yeah, I know you do. yeah, Marvel. I don't know. Marvel's just becoming cash grabby, and it's disappointing because
Yeah, it fell apart.
their older stuff. This is gonna be Toxic Filmmaker too, but their older stuff, pretty good. Their new stuff, not that good.
That's
Wish
not
they
toxic
did more of the old
filmmaker. I
stuff.
feel like that's valid opinion maker.
Yeah, well,
You're a valid opinion maker at the moment, personally. Maybe not to my girlfriend or girlfriend's family or not.
Sure.
But
I don't know. People are there are still some pretty big Marvel fans out there.
no, there's
you know,
definitely some
power
huge
to 'em.
Marvel fans.
Yeah.
And I mean, they usually read the comics though. At this
Yeah.
point, I don't know if you saw the new Ant-Man, but wow,
I have not.
what do you like?
I heard it was. I heard a good review and I heard a bad review.
Well, whoever
Pretty cool.
said it was good was lying. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was me personally because I'm a visual effects major.
Right.
But sticking a green screen where I can still see the green in their hair just does something
Yeah.
for me. Where it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
I want to throw up.
Dude, I did. Okay, I did watch a video about like the visual effects in Ant-Man, and there were some shots where I was like, "That's horrible."
This is
It's
literally the
horrible.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah,
Like-
it's so yeah. Some of the shots in that movie were god awful. It's like
No,
they
were
spent 10
terrible.
minutes on it.
It
And
literally
it's like,
wasn't even.
you can't
The
even
perspective wasn't even the same.
Yeah, you can't even discredit the visual effects people because I know they're like, you know,
No, they're working.
it's been a whole thing that
They
they've
have like
been working
2 weeks to work on
yeah.
400 shots.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, no. If you ever actually look at the list for the amount of people on like a movie like that, it's like 1,000 visual effects artists.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
how are these people all collaborating?
Beats me.
I don't know, because I
yeah.
send one file to somebody else and there's 50 errors.
yeah.
Like, how are they all doing it?
I don't know.
All right, maybe they have like a cloud they all post to or something.
They've
Maybe
got to
it's-
have like, I'm sure their servers are ginormous.
Yeah. Cat things. Anyways,
I gotta see what he's getting into real quick. Hold on.
I want to shape my personality to be confusing.
Oh,
Again,
I
this is
think
kinda
I think
coming
that
back
it
to
definitely
this-
does happen.
I
You
feel
know,
like it's coming back to the similar question we asked earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, I want you to also answer like do films like do they act on it in real life in the same way what we just talked about, like creating
Yeah.
new films?
Mm.
So just kind of go through both.
I think that yeah, like movies definitely have an effect on you as a viewer. Like I've walked out of movies before and been like, you know, you walk out of Batman, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be brooding, and then you're brooding like for the ride home, and you're like, yeah, I'm Batman, and then you know wake up the next day and you're like, okay, that was dumb. I feel
Yeah,
stupid,
right.
you know.
Well, you
But-
once told me I have a Batman behavior where it's like I'm
You do?
very straightforward and I'm a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
know,
think you watched Batman and based your whole personality off of it, though. I think that's just you as a person.
No, yeah. No, I've actually only watched The Batman, which is the most
Yeah.
recent one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I really don't
Haven't looked
know.
back since. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
real? Okay. No, I don't know. It's just kind of how I am, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think any movie is gonna linger long enough to like change your
Whole personality.
whole personality. I think it's definitely temporary. It's like an effect,
Yeah.
and it's kind of funny to watch someone go through it, you know. But I am definitely guilty of going through it as well. You know, but
Silly cat. Silly catty. Oh,
he's trying to get
chilling.
into the barriered door.
Ah.
There he goes.
All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think as we said before, it was good enough where it's like we can definitely evolve on films and create new stuff from them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, coming to our next question, because those were sub questions of a question. that
Sure,
we had,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because you know that.
Yeah.
How do you feel film is becoming more or less relevant? This is a big one, I feel like, and I feel like we touched on it, but not really expanded upon it.
How do I feel it's becoming more or less relevant?
Yeah. Right.
I think that I don't know. The industry kind of feels. I'm no expert in this, but I feel like it's becoming kind of split, where it's either like blockbusters or like independent movies. You know, like
it does
indies.
feel like that right now
You know, it's either like
for me.
you know, it's like Florida Project type movies, or it's like Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, it's like you have really big budget, like you're going to see a spectacle, you know, or it's like you want to see a good story, and you don't really get both anymore. I know Matt Damon. There was like this interview with Matt Damon where he talked about how like medium budget movies like don't really exist anymore
Yeah.
because no one wants to take a chance on like good story with
Yeah.
like, you know, on like a large
like the 1999 movies
yeah.
that all came out, Matrix,
Yeah.
like all that stuff.
You know, like like Good Will Hunting's like a medium budget movie. It's not
Yeah.
like a blockbuster, but it's like was really successful in its box office run, and you know, it's just like a story driven movie. You don't really see that anymore, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, A24 is doing its thing, and I'm glad that they've gotten the success that they deserve.
Yeah, because Everything Everywhere all at Once was
Yeah, I think that
awesome.
was really a lifesaver for them, is that movie. Like that was
Yeah.
huge for them because it was so successful.
I definitely think I liked Nope.
I haven't seen Nope, but yeah, I heard it was. I've heard good things. Yeah.
I liked it. I don't think it was personally. I feel like it could have been executed like a little better.
Sure.
I mean, but that might be a personal thing. Like
Mhm.
it could be very personal.
Right.
And I could talk about it to some other film agent and be like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But I think there's a part of the film that's like, it's a big scary thing, and then suddenly it's this big, still kind of scary thing, but it's not as scary as it was before. Like it was just shitting blood on my house, and now it's like kind of friendly. Not friendly, but you know, it's
More
not as
passive.
aggressive.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did it let up? Like it was so aggressive in this scene, and now it's just like kind of chill. I like the ending scene. It was all IMAX. They actually hid an IMAX camera in one of the shots, and they're
Oh,
faking
really?
it was the thing they were recording with, which I thought was really cool.
That's cool.
But the shots were very clean and very well done,
Yeah.
and all that. But the main thing was the ending felt very Spielberg, which I respect. I love Spielberg, and
Yeah.
I like that part. But the distracting part was the aggression for me. Of
Yeah.
The thing changed so drastically.
Sure.
And it didn't feel like a finish for me. It was a great grand finale, but
Yeah.
compared to what I was expecting, especially what they lead you on to expect,
Right. Yeah.
because it's this big mysterious alien, bro. Like it's supposed to be scary, and then it's like
And it's not.
it's this big beautiful thing at the end. And I guess that's part of the film,
I mean, yeah.
but that's a personal thing.
Probably trying to subvert your expectations, and then it does in a way that you didn't expect it to, and didn't really want it to.
Yeah, you totally weren't heard saying that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I was passing your mic, but it's gonna be audible, but just not that good.
It's okay. All right. Anyways, so it's in a medium state right now, where it's in between in the states of relevant and.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I
you think
think
the
people
relevancy is
people
more or
still
less?
people still like seeing blockbuster movies, but I think you give it another 10, 15 years, and Hollywood's gonna be struggling. They're already struggling with your A-list actors and stuff. I think because Hollywood just isn't what it was.
Yeah,
And people are just more aware of
good films.
good films, and they're more aware of the flaws that Hollywood has as an industry, and the actors and
What
everyone's
happens
lives,
to
because
an
you can
actress.
see you can see everything now.
Right. All right. Next. Do you think that's a good thing for you?
What that the industry is
becoming
relevant,
the
non-relevant?
relevancy of Blockbuster or
Um,
non-relevancy of Blockbuster.
I mean, as far as a job goes, it's a little concerning, I think. But I don't know. I like seeing that more unique films are being made, and that's kind of getting more recognition.
Like
'cause
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I'd rather work on a niche film with a smaller budget than a huge blockbuster
Yeah.
that I don't give a shit about. Yeah. So it's a little concerning as far as a job goes, because the more movies that are being made, the more chance I have of getting a job. But I want to feel I'm already doing film as a career, so it's if I'm gonna choose the creative path as a job, I'd want to feel fulfilled in that, and I don't want to cop out and just do movies that I'd hate.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
get that. What do you? This is kind of an off tangent, but
Okay.
kind of I feel like an important thing in film. I know a lot of filmmakers don't like Michael Bay.
Don't like Michael Bay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like him.
Uh-huh.
Do you know if that's a personal thing or a general consensus around him?
I think that it's kind of just a misunderstanding of him as a director. He's a very blockbuster director. He likes his big explosions, and I think he tells good stories when he wants to. But sometimes he's just he's having fun, and
Yeah, exactly. He's
I
having
respect
fun
the
with
hell
what
out of
he
that.
does.
If you go to work every day and you just blow things up and have a great time, and
Imagine how fun that'd be.
that's got to be sick. I would
Right.
love to do that.
Imagine how much C4 you just get to put on the
Right.
car,
Yeah,
blow it up.
yeah, be
It'd
sick.
be awesome.
So I like him. I don't know anything really about him as a person, but as a filmmaker, I think he's made good movies. He's made bad movies, but he's always made entertaining movies.
Yeah.
That's all you can really ask for, I guess.
Yeah. Have you ever seen The Island?
The Island?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You hit me with all these deep cut movies that I mean, some of them
It's not really deep cut.
they're not
It's
really
got
deep cut
frickin'
movies. I
Scarlett
just haven't
Johansson
seen
in
them. Yeah.
it. And something McGregor, Ian McGregor. or
Ewan
something.
McGregor.
Yeah.
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 I'm just not a very well versed filmmaker, apparently.
I don't know.
my movies that
Apparently
well.
not, because
Yeah. I've never actually seen a movie. I've
It's
just
like we
heard
watch
about them.
opposite halves of films. Like
Yeah.
it's like, that's okay. I mean, it's not like it's not like a crazy film, but it's like an entertaining film.
Yeah.
If you're ever trying to like watch something that's fun, The
Okay.
Island's pretty good.
Yeah, I think the last Michael Bay movie I watched was Ambulance. Have you seen Ambulance?
No.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. That movie is like, it's all shot on like drones.
Oh,
So it's nuts.
interesting.
The shots in those movies are fucking crazy.
Expensive.
Yeah.
All right, back to our
Questions.
questions.
Yeah.
Do you feel? I feel like we already asked that. Do you feel you could have an impact on an alter ego creation? So, what we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
with Patrick Bateman, do you think you could ever do that in a film and create that feeling
Like
of?
make a character that someone sees and is like,
And they're like,
I'm
I want to
gonna
be this
a
guy.
sociopath."
Yeah. Like, I mean, even if it's temporary for 12 hours, 2 hours,
I mean, I guess
30 seconds.
I think it'd be really funny to have that impact on someone. I don't know.
Imagine finishing Fight Club and everybody walks out and they're like, I am him.
I am Tyler Durden.
I am
Yes.
Tyler Durden.
I think that'd be funny. It'd be funny to see people react like that to my stuff. But that definitely would never be the goal. You know, like for
Right.
Team Super, Green Guardian, like the character that I play is like, you know, he's a dick. He's like a narcissist.
Right,
and
yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. But
He just talks over everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have an effect on anyone. I think I would never want that to be the goal, but I think it'd be really funny to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I feel that. But do you think you could do it? Because I feel like
If that was if that was my goal.
if it was your
to make
goal,
someone
do you think you
act
could
like
do
that.
it if you had to? Do you think you could be that good of a, like, what's it called? I guess it's kind of in the writing a lot, like where it's
Yeah.
like a character developer.
Yeah.
Could you develop a character to that level of extent?
I think if I had enough time to create a
on it?
character, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd be able to do it in like a month. It would take
Okay.
a
Well, yeah.
decent amount of time and work. But if that was my goal, then yeah, probably.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these characters come from people. If you actually read the book Fight Club, the writer wrote from his like own experience.
Yeah.
And it's a depressing book.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The film is not as depressing.
Yeah.
It's still not like it's a dim film.
Mm.
But
That probably won't come up on this mic.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
but the it's a dim film, but it's not like super dim. But if you read the book, you're like depressed along with the characters.
Right.
When I read the book, I was like, wow, this is kind of bringing me down. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure. That's
because this
interesting.
is like you can kind of tell this is this guy's life in
Yeah,
the book versus like a movie.
Mhm.
So it's definitely characters like that come from low spots in people's lives.
Yeah.
And like people
Yeah.
want to be that, but it's like
Yeah.
no, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. I promise you.
Right.
It's depressing.
Mm. Yeah.
I want to be a schizophrenic human. Like,
Yeah.
who's thinking that?
No.
I know people
hope,
do.
I hope no one. but
Because
yeah.
TikTok, I know the Fight Club thing was like they clip Fight Club, edit them just like the Patrick Bateman,
Yeah.
and
Just
it's like the
fan
same
cam
thing.
of-
And it's like
Fan cam of Patrick Bateman.
it's like you don't want to be this guy. Like you
Yeah.
think you do, but you don't. I
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah.
But anyways, so since you think you can create this character with mucho time,
Sure.
do you think it could become a new culture?
Do I think it could become a new culture?
Do you think you could create a new culture with a character in film? Like in film, like I'm talking
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you think you could create a new subgenre in film?
Oh.
Like Ari Aster does with this confusion shit.
Yeah, I don't think it would be anything new. Like it's not. I don't think it would be anything innovative where like no one has ever seen it before.
Right.
Because a lot of my work is based off of other people's work
Right,
that I like.
yeah.
You know.
Everybody watched
But,
Tub.
Yeah, I would love to see the genre of filmmaking that I'm into personally like grow, because I think it's really entertaining to see, you know, people out on the street filming things like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that thrive more in the industry, but it's a tough thing
Yeah, it's
to
tough,
make popular.
especially with people
Yeah,
not liking being filmed.
yeah. Which is
Have you
why
had
you
that
gotta know
problem a
all
lot?
the legal logistics. If you're out in public, you're giving up your consent.
It's
You're
true.
giving consent to be filmed if you're in a public
Yeah.
space.
Have you had a problem with that at all? And Team Super?
Knock on wood, not to this point. Everyone that we've run into has been like pretty positive and happy to be filmed. There are some people usually will ask, like, if we have an interaction where it feels like the person wouldn't want to be on camera, we'll ask them. We'll say that we're recording, and if they want to be cut out, we can. But if not, then we can blur a face if we need, or it's kind of like we take it on the vibe of the interaction. Like if we had a good interaction with them and they seem like happy to see us, then we take that as consent, as just like, okay, if you were happy to hang out with us, and like if there's no way you didn't see the cameras, we're not hiding the cameras. They're out in plain sight, so it's being filmed. And if you didn't specifically say you didn't want to be filmed, then it seemed like positive for everyone involved. So
Nice.
yeah,
Cool. Sick.
so thank God no, but
Yeah,
maybe
right.
one day I'll run into
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. So do you just do it on the Beltline, or anywhere?
I mean, it depends on the scene, but a lot of this stuff we filmed a lot on the Beltline just because it's right outside, and there
Right,
was
it's right there.
it's a lot of access to a lot of people. So we have a bunch of bits on the Beltline, but we were kind of all over the city
Cool.
while shooting the last 3 episodes. Yeah,
Nice.
hmm
All right. Well, that's gonna be that.
that's all you got
It's a
for
wrap.
now.
That's all I got for you.
Only an hour and 10 minutes of content.
Yeah.
You're getting a phone call.
Yeah, it's
Um,
okay.
Okay.
I'll
Cool.
answer that
Well,
in a
thanks for
second.
having me.
All right. Well, on
Goodbye.
to Sophia.
On to Sophia.
All right. See
Good
ya.
luck, Sophia.
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna go off, but this is gonna be a cut
That's
out.
okay.
But the first film I can't believe the first film I did was a gay film.
No, you got to put that in. Yeah.
Like if I told my parents like 2 years ago that the first film I was gonna do was a gay film.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be like,
Are they very like?
they're not like super, but they'd be like,
Yeah.
what the? Could you not do something like?
That's hilarious.
They're not. They're
I
like,
mean, it's hard not to do a gay film when you're at SCAD. You know.
yeah, it's like a part of the culture.
Yeah.
And I can't post that now.
No, you can't. You have to cut that out. But
Yeah.
you know. You know.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is what it
That's
is.
okay. I'm not. We're not. This is
You
video
have
for-
control of it. It's not like you're handing it
Exactly.
off to someone and someone's gonna watch that and be like,
Yeah.
"What?
He hates gay people.
He hates gay people. He said that
He's a
verbatim.
gay hater.
Yeah. It's a fucking homophobe."
It's not true. It's not true. I'm very nice
The
to everybody.
accusations are false.
It's true. They are false. I try to be as nice as possible to everybody
Yeah.
until they're not nice to me.
Unless they're gay.
And then I beat them up.
Unless they're fucking gay, bro.
Oh man. All right, so quick clap just to.
Yeah, I'll clap so you can cut that out. Ethan, cut this out.
All right.
There you go.